Again, the commitment is there, but we made life very, very difficult for us in the way we played, how we played. Sloppy, a lot of technical mistakes, not fast enough, not repetitive enough. We were lucky today.
England just booked a World Cup semi-final. Their manager stood in front of the cameras afterwards and told the world his team were lucky to survive. That's not spin. That's not false modesty. Thomas Tuchel actually said it, standing in front of the cameras minutes after his players had stopped celebrating. We made life very, very difficult for ourselves today. A 2-1 extra-time win over Norway, and the manager sounds like a man reviewing a defeat. Which raises the only question that actually matters here. If England are through to the last four with the manager still furious about the performance, what does that tell you about the standard he's actually built inside this squad? Because this isn't the story of one lucky night in Miami. This is the story of 18 months, and it starts somewhere nobody expected, with a country finally admitting the truth about itself. You've probably heard the England story before. Bright generation, big expectations, another quarterfinal exit, another round of inquests. Almost none of what got them to this semi-final fits that pattern. 60 years, that's the number that's followed England onto every plane, into every hotel, onto every pitch. 60 years without a men's major trophy, and it stopped being a statistic a long time ago. It became a personality. Gareth Southgate understood that better than most. 8 years in the job, a World Cup semi-final, 2 European Championship finals. He took a fractured, ego-heavy dressing room and turned it into something that actually functioned. That is not nothing. But here's the problem he never solved. England stopped losing. They also stopped winning. Conservative substitutions, cautious selections, a team playing like it was protecting a lead it hadn't earned yet. The 2024 final defeat to Spain wasn't a shock. It was a verdict. Talented players managed into mediocrity. The FA didn't need another safe pair of hands. They needed someone with zero interest in protecting anyone's feelings. Thomas Tuchel had already won the Champions League with Chelsea. He'd taken PSG to a final. He'd won the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich. And he already knew Harry Kane, having coached him in Germany, 44 goals in 45 games. Not a stranger walking in blind. A manager who'd already proven he could get the best out of England's own captain in a shirt that wasn't even England's. He took charge on January 1st, 2025. From the very first camp, his message was simple. Reputation means nothing here. Form is the only currency. Qualifying told you everything before the tournament even began. Albania, 2-0, a debutant opening the scoring at Wembley. Latvia, 3-0, 3 days later. Clean sheets, comfortable wins, and Tuchel still not satisfied, publicly not satisfied, which isn't something England managers usually risk after winning. Then the wobble, a scratchy 1-0 win in Andorra that lacked any real sharpness. And 3 days later, a friendly defeat to Senegal, 1-3, a heavily rotated side that simply didn't function. For the first time, people started asking the obvious question, is this actually working? The answer arrived in Belgrade, Serbia, the strongest side left in the group, away from home. England didn't just win it. They destroyed it, 5-0, a performance built entirely on a press so relentless Serbia never got to breathe. Watch that performance carefully. Not the scoreline, the pattern. Every goal came from the same trigger, a turnover won inside 10 seconds of losing the ball before Serbia's back four could even reset. That's not a good night. That's a system doing exactly what it was built to do, at full speed, against the one team capable of embarrassing them. Watch that scoreline again, not as a result, as a pattern. Every single qualifier that followed carried the same signature. Andorra again, 2-0, Latvia away, 5-0, Serbia at home, 2-0, Albania away, 2-0. 8 matches, 8 wins, 22 goals scored, 0 conceded. Not the first team to qualify from their group unbeaten, the first team in the entire history of European qualifying to go through a campaign that long without conceding a single goal. That's not form, that's identity. And identity carries weight when the fixtures get harder. Only Brazil and Germany have reached more World Cup quarterfinals than England. But England had only turned that stage into a semi-final on 3 previous occasions, conceding 2 or more goals in 7 of those ties. History wasn't on their side. The system was going to have to be. May the 22nd, 2026, Squad Day. Tuchel personally called around 50 players to tell them, one by one, whether they'd made it. Phil Foden, left out. Cole Palmer, left out. Trent Alexander-Arnold, left out. Harry Maguire, left out. Luke Shaw, left out. These weren't fringe names, these had started the Euro 2024 final, and Tuchel dropped them anyway, because the reasoning wasn't emotional, it was evidence. Foden hadn't matched his 2023-2024 form in 2 full seasons. Palmer had dipped hard, reportedly playing through fitness issues most of the year. Alexander-Arnold's role had shifted so much at Real Madrid, his position in an England system had become a puzzle nobody could solve cleanly. Think about what that actually meant inside that dressing room. Foden was a Premier League winner, a player England had built entire tactical conversations around for 3 years. Palmer had been the story of the 2023-2024 season. None of it mattered, because none of it was currently true. That's the sentence that defines this entire era. Not what you were, what you are right now, proven on a pitch in the last 6 months. No exceptions. And the inclusions told the same story from the other direction. Jordan Henderson, dropped from Euro 2024 entirely, recalled at 34 for his 4th World Cup, because a dressing room needs a voice that's won things before. Marcus Rashford, discarded 2 years ago, rebuilt himself at Villa and then Barcelona, and earned his way back purely on form. Jarell Quansah, one solitary cap at the time of selection, preferred over Maguire's 90, because Tuchel valued what he could become over what Maguire already was. That is not sentiment, that is a manager who trusts data over affection. And it's exactly why this squad looks nothing like the one England expected, and exactly like the one his system needed. Underneath it all sits a clear structure, a 4-2-3-1, built to press high and win the ball back within seconds. Declan Rice anchoring everything from deep, not just a holding midfielder anymore, but the player Tuchel himself calls the most important man in the squad. Reece James inverting from right back into midfield, giving England an extra body in the middle that most opponents don't account for. That's chemistry. That's understanding built over 18 months of camps, not 18 days. Kane at the point of it all, 79 England goals, closing in on Gary Lineker's World Cup scoring record. And then there's Bellingham, 49 caps, one of the most complete midfielders in world football on his best days, but a season at Real Madrid interrupted by a shoulder operation and inconsistent form. Tuchel left him out of multiple camps during qualifying. Their relationship was tested publicly more than once. He picked him for the World Cup anyway, not out of sentiment, but because when a knockout match needs one moment no system can manufacture, Bellingham is still the man most likely to produce it. Then the theory met the tournament, and the tournament didn't cooperate quietly. Group stage, Croatia, the team that eliminated England in 2018. Then Bellingham scoring 2 minutes into the second half and Rashford finishing it late, 4-2. England's first real proof under pressure, and the first sign that the squad Tuchel built to replace reputation with form could still find something extra when reputation alone wouldn't have been enough. Round of 16. Mexico, in Mexico City's own shadow at Estadio Azteca, a genuinely hostile away tie against a home crowd desperate to end England's run early. England won it 3-2. Not comfortable, not clean. 2 changes followed for the next match. John Stones in for the suspended Jarell Quansah, Noni Madueke in for Bukayo Saka, proof that even a knockout win didn't earn anyone an automatic pass into the next selection. Reputation still meant nothing, only what you'd just done on the pitch. But through. Then the quarter-final, and the story stopped being about dominance and started being about survival. Miami, 90 degrees at kickoff, a heat index pushing past 108. 2 days earlier, Erling Haaland himself had told the press Norway's chances of winning the whole tournament were really low, and that all the pressure sat squarely on England. Norway had a goal ruled out after Haaland shoved an England player to the ground before the corner came in. 90 minutes ended level, 1-1, sending England to extra time for the first time at a World Cup since that same Croatia side beat them in 2018. 3 minutes into extra time, Morgan Rogers hit a shot from distance, the Norway goalkeeper spilled it, and Jude Bellingham reacted first, 2-1. His 6th goal of the tournament and his 2nd in this match alone. He's now the first midfielder in England's history to score 4 or more goals in a single World Cup campaign, a conversion rate the best English strikers of the last 60 years never matched from midfield. Watch that goal carefully, not the finish, the instinct a split second before it, the refusal to assume the goalkeeper had it covered. That's not luck. That's a player who spent 18 months being told nothing is guaranteed, reacting exactly like it. England survived a late penalty controversy of their own, a spot kick awarded and then overturned on review, and held on. Full time, 2-1. Their first World Cup semi-final since 2018, only the fourth in the nation's history. And Tuchel still wasn't satisfied. Sloppy, a lot of technical mistakes, not fast enough. We were lucky today, he said, in the same breath as calling the result fantastic. Asked exactly what had bothered him, he didn't soften it. In every sense, he said. That's exactly why this team feels different. Not because they're playing perfect football, because the manager refuses to let anyone, including himself, mistake surviving for arriving. Wednesday in Atlanta, England face Argentina, Lionel Messi chasing one more trophy before time runs out, having already dragged his side back from 2 goals down once this tournament. 60 years hasn't ended. Nobody in that dressing room is pretending it has. But for the first time in a long time, England aren't just talking about ending it. They're 2 matches away, built on a squad chosen for what it proves, rather than who it flatters, still being told by its own manager that it hasn't been good enough yet. That's the version of England that keeps winning ugly, and ugly, right now, is 1 win away from a World Cup final. Whether that's enough to finally end 60 years is the only question left worth asking, and it's the one this documentary can't answer yet, because nobody can. Not the pundits, not the bookmakers, and clearly, not even the manager standing in that post-match interview still refusing to celebrate. If you think this England side can actually go all the way, hit like, and let us know in the comments who you're backing in the final. And if you want more breakdowns like this before every knockout tie, subscribe, because this story isn't finished yet, and neither are we.